Hey guys, welcome back to another crypto video, and today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP. And as I said in my two previous videos, we're going to be giving away $50 worth of BTC, but I'm actually going to change that and give away $50 worth of XRP to you guys. And all you need to do is actually comment something down below here, comment something in the Discord, and have the notification bell on. Those three things to enter, and we're actually going to give it away to two people. So $25 to two, just to make your chances a little bit bigger. And all we need to give it away is 250 likes within 24 hours, guys. So make sure you just smash that like button real quick, and let's get that done. Now, what has been really trending in the XRP community is the hate articles. I've definitely seen like 7 or 8 combined in the last 24 hours, or last like 36 hours, I should say, of just people bashing the coin, saying the coin is going to go to zero, saying the coin's going down and people are afraid, this, yada, yada, yada. But guys, please, whenever I see those articles, I just start to laugh, like really hard even. I just sit back in my chair like, I just have a cup of coffee, I don't know, and just start laughing at these folk. Because they're doing it for attention. The title of this video could have been really, really different, but I'm trying to make a statement here, trying to prove a point, because you can really manipulate titles and articles in the way that it's really the best for yourself. But in this case, don't go in too much into those articles. Don't get too carried away, believe in everything they say. Come on, guys, you know better. If you've been watching these videos for a long time, you're not new to the channel, you've been here for a little bit, you know that a lot of these articles are plain bullshit, all right? And in this case, those negative articles that I've seen coming about, I think there must be one or two actually in the top here of not necessarily hating, but more reporting on the bad news. It doesn't matter, all right? The price goes down. It happens all the time. There's no bull run ever that just has green candles day in, day out for like a month or so. Let's say it doesn't happen. Reason for that being is that at some points people are going to take profit, and it is also needed for people to not call it that much of a bubble. So it has some back into it, all these prices, and we know that it's not just a one-time rush, but it's really building the price upwards. The only thing we should watch out for or look at is what the price is going to do in terms of how far it's going to retrace backwards. So is it going to go back to 30 cents, 32, 29-ish? Or is it going to go to, like, let's say 34 and then have another 20% gain, or however much it had, 40% gain, and then fall back down again 20% and then have the exact same pattern over and over, which will be really, really positive for us? Or is it going to be, going back all the way to 25 cents now and then spike afterwards? Could also happen. Or is it going to go back down to 20 and hover there? A lot of things could happen. But the main thing is that if this price were to go to 70 cents right now, it's going to fall even harder than it did gain, unless it just keeps getting back a little bit and then gains more, getting back a little bit and gains more. There's so much, there's so many reasons actually for this that it's too much to explain in one video. I just gave you a few already here, but it's really quite intuitive if you've ever traded before. It just doesn't happen. It can't happen, or it's not really backed, and it would just be kind of a little bit more speculative, a little bit too much for a lot of the people, and that's also not nice to have. Also, guys, if you think about it logically, however much XRP you have, let's say you got 10,000, right? You got yourself a nice $3,500 worth of XRP. You're not going to be sufficient, all right? I mean, as we saw with Vincent Wilson and with some of the guys, they said 20k XRP is life-changing, and it definitely will be life-changing. And for all you that are new here, this is not financial advice. This is just purely for entertainment purposes only. Every opinion is my opinion, but what I should say and what I should add is that with 10,000 XRP, if the price were to go to, let's say, $100, you're going to be a millionaire, all right? You're going to have $1 million. But let's say the price only goes to $10 in the closer proximity here in a few years or whatever, then you're going to be $100,000, all right? You got $100,000 in. I mean, that's a life-changing amount of money. It's a lot, and you might be able to stay alive for a couple of years. But then take a step back and think about however high this market cap would be, the total cap. I just put it here exactly for this reason, because it's going to be a lot, all right? It's going to be a lot of money there. But you only have, if this goes to $10, you only have a little slight, tiny, weeny piece of this pie. That's one. And also on a side note, you want to have more than 100,000, right? I mean, if that's really your goal to become rich in crypto, or if you're watching these videos day in, day out, you got to be stacking these coins. Doesn't matter what coin you're doing, but if you really want to make something of it, I think you got to stack a lot of these coins and just get them up to a nice amount. Whereas if the bull run does hit that you're waiting for all day, that you really, really, are done for. That you don't have to worry about any money anymore in the rest of your life. At least that's what I'm sort of hoping for. At least that a lot of people could just change their life all the way, whereas they don't need to worry about money whatsoever anymore. But I think that if you only have, I shouldn't say only 10,000 XRP, because that's still a very big amount of money. Don't get me wrong. $3,500 is still a very, very large sum. Thing is though, what I personally really recommend to almost everybody is to just keep buying more whenever the price goes down. And if the price were to only keep increasing right now, you would have to be stuck, or you're kind of stuck with all the coins that you have. Because, I mean, who's going to buy if this coin goes up 40% right now, right? If it goes 40% on the daily here, it's very hard to press buy already when it has already gone up 40%. Because, crypto, you think it's going to go down harder than 40% in a couple of days. So you're just waiting, sitting there, and then at one point, just keeps going down or up 40%, 40%, 40% every single day. Just like, oh, wait, it'll go back down, it'll go back down. And you're left with only those 10,000 coins you started with. If the price kept doing this, minus 10%, minus 20%, you might have actually got a chance to buy way more in the longer run, which is still another reason why I really, really enjoy all these downfalls again. Now, let's go over some articles real quick. Got a ton of stuff, a lot of cool things as well, so I do have to cover that for you guys. Ripple XRP price nosedives in shocking 25% plunge after 2019 high. This is exactly what I was telling you guys about. These articles are coming out in and out left and right, though a lot of you guys, or maybe I shouldn't say a lot of you guys, but a lot of people that I've spoken to, they just read the title and they're like, FUD, they just place a big stamp on it and go away again. What I think a lot of people are forgetting is that a lot of these articles are just talking about a downfall, as you can see here. So today there was a big plunge, or in 2 days there was like a 25% plunge. Yes. But over the longer term, they're actually looking at more gains to come from it. It is actually quite interesting how I can interpret these articles in two very, very different ways. On one hand, you can say like, all right, they're predicting a price that's lower than this than the high point, so it's negative. But on the contrary, you can also say like, all right, they're not predicting the coin to literally fall like this back to 20 whatever cents. This is actually really kind of a positive article to give you guys some more faith for a rebound again. So I actually think this is to be seen from two ways, and I still like this type of article. It's not a real FUD-only article, which I see most of the time. Coin metrics, discrepancies found in Ripple XRP escrow reporting. Guys, I mean, there's going to be discrepancies in any reporting, really. I mean, you can't really perfect everything, and the only bad part about it here is, as we can read right now. While evaluating the XRP blockchain and Ripple's escrow service, Coinmetrics reports finding several important discrepancies between that what was publicly reported by Ripple and what was visible on the XRP ledger. Nice little motorcycle in the back. I don't know if you guys can hear that. In particular, the company claims to have found 2 quarterly markets reports underreported the number of XRP released from escrow by a total of 200 million XRP. And I'm not saying that this is a thing they can really go over the head. Like, you're not going to miss 200 XRP by accident, right? You're not like, I'm typing in my XRP amount, how much you want to receive. Oh, let's, 1.2 instead of 1.0, anything like that. It's a mistake that's really hard to miss. Though I have a little bit more info about that in a second here. And the escrow queue is implemented differently than announced, leading to a faster future release of escrowed funds compared to the announced schedule. And there's a little bit more data about it here. Let's see. Escrow allows XRP Ledger and IOP, Interledger Protocol, to communicate these to secure XRP for an allotted amount of time or until certain conditions are met. This can be used to hold funds until a service is completed or until a moment in time such as birthday. On-chain data, however, tells a different story. It seems that instead of locking unused funds into the first slot, i.e. the first of the month, with no existing escrow, they were locked in such a way to maintain the fixed amount of 1 billion XRP in escrow per month. Now, what I have to say about this is, in theory, it doesn't really matter how much they grab out of escrow since they're putting most of it back in, whatever is unused. And in theory, they could also just take out the 1 billion XRP and then put literally 0 back. But they don't. They take out X amount of XRP, which is supposedly 1 billion. They claim here that it's 1.2 billion. I'm guessing that's at least how I interpret it. But I guess they just put in or put back more, right? Or we could interpret it from a different way, which is that they're grabbing more from escrow than they said, which is also why this date is earlier than they said, and they're just doing a big money scheme, money grab type of thing. I mean, that's also a possibility. Frig if I know. I don't know where to check it. I don't know how to verify. I would just like to know from you guys what you think about the situation, and if you guys can give me some more food for thought, some more places to check this out, to see what is legit and what is not. I actually just see now that they have a link to this report on coinmetrics.io. We might check this out on a live stream tomorrow, something like that, which would be cool to discuss with you guys, because there's so many things that I still have to look into to really get a good overview for you guys, or a good idea of what's going on. I'm sorry I didn't see this before. I just wasn't even thinking about looking up the real report. But here you have it. It is available online if you are a real XRP fan. Guys, please, in the comment section down below, help me out on this, because this article is really funny. I mean, it really brings up a lot of fear in the community, and a lot of you guys can just help that by commenting, so make sure you do that. Ripple XRP price analysis. XRP is awakened with the current market rush. Investors enjoy a celebratory moment. So, yeah, everybody's really happy with these price increases, and I think what it also awoke, or had awakened, whatever, is another positive wave of, another positive wave in the crypto sphere. So these gains were really much needed to really get crypto into mainstream attention again to a lot more people, and also to just awaken the feeling of gains in the crypto market, and the feeling of you're doing it for something. A lot of people were losing faith over the months because the price was just not moving. People said XRP is a volatile or a stable coin now, and they say crypto is not so volatile anymore, so major institutions could get in, which was a positive thing. But there were so many funny things in general that came from these lower prices that people started to really get worried, and I think these gains really helped turn that attitude around a little bit. Here is another article which I did see again, which was Ripple's quarterly reports understand XRP released from escrow, understated XRP released from escrow by $84 million. And again, I would like to know from you guys what you think and what is the truth. Is this just funny? Is it really true? Are they doing this for personal gain? Does it all make a difference? Like, does it matter that this happens, or did it just put back in more? Or you guys let me know, all right? Please, all right? I'm messed up in the head here because of this, because it does seem like quite a big issue. If there's nothing that you guys can say, maybe it's completely funny though. You know, it could be. Maybe they have a really good explanation for it. I would like to see. I'll check Twitter out after this video, and maybe I'll give you guys another update tomorrow then, if I can. Mass update of Ripple's XRP by mainstream banks is certain. I mean, come on. Do I really need to give you guys these articles? Do I really need to give you guys these titles? We don't, right? Any of you investing in XRP knows that they're going to get huge. They're going to get big. It is out there. I know for sure. I want to say 99% because there's always 1% of the world going down or anything like that, which or the new internet, something new, which is going to make it obsolete. Could happen. But in theory, you know, I'm so convinced that this technology is just inevitable, and that these mainstream banks coming on there are inevitable as well. Main reason for my enthusiasm, though, is where most people see as a con or a bad thing, is because of the JPM coin and things like that. JPM coin really made me realize that a lot of these mainstream banks can't go for their own coin. Why can't they do so? Because going around with your own coin to other banks is just not gonna really work that well, because no other bank wants your freaking coins, right? JP Morgan doesn't want United States of America coins, if you get my drift, or American bank coins. And what Ripple really does there is kind of puts XRP in the middle, or they put themselves in the middle using XRP, which is decentralized. So no bank really has to choose the other bank and give them credit and, you know, have them be happy. No. They can just make their other partners miserable by just using a middleman, sort of like XRP here, just making everything easier though. Ripple appeared in the 346 top performing businesses in Inc.'s 4th annual Best Workplaces survey. I was actually kind of amazed by that it really got in there still. It was actually kind of cool to read about as well. XRP price showing signs of weakness, but likely to bounce back. I was actually really convinced of a bounce back as well, and I'm still convinced of that, guys. If the price goes down further, again, it's a better opportunity for us to buy, but if the price goes up, it's always really nice to see. Some of you guys were asking me if I have any long position open on XRP. I actually do have one position open, which I have closed I think it's 24 or maybe 20 something hours ago already. But I had one open when a lot of you guys asked about it, because that was 2 days in the video. And yeah, I'm planning to go for it again, all right? I'm just waiting, seeing what the price is going to do right now. I'm going to look for one of the lower points as well. Maybe tomorrow, maybe today. I'm going to open up another one and just ride the wave, because I'm kind of convinced that in the longer run, it's better to have a long than a short with a coin like XRP. Unless you're going to go for those really small little shorty trades, but I'm going for the bigger one here, trying to really make a lot of profit with one trade. And moving forward, Ripple update, XRP to USD bulls crippled by sudden reversal. What's next? I think, again, another bullish run is next. Any bull run has downfalls. It just happens. It's standard. So I still think it's going to be fine, guys. Ripple XP crashed below 37 cents, losing 10% in a matter of minutes before the recovery starts. Yeah, sure, guys. And then something cool again. Kava Labs is developing Ripple's XRP collateralized stablecoin, which is also in I think one of these articles before just now, but here it was kind of more obvious, so I was like, I'll just quickly tell you guys from here. Kava Labs is developing a stablecoin collateralized using Ripple's XRP, and Ripple's Spring participated in a $1.2 million Kava Labs fund round. So I think it was in the article where it said like the institutional adoption is inevitable. This one right here, they were actually also indirectly mostly talking about Kava Labs, which is again going to be amazing for XRP because it just brings a lot more to them. Kava Labs is proudly financed by Ripple's Spring, which is also what these two articles are about. Yes, XRP-backed stablecoin USDX is under development, confirms Kava Labs co-founder, and how Ripple is building out the XRP ecosystem through Spring. Ripple's Spring lead discusses the investment it is making in the XRP ecosystem. And again, that's, guys, where it all gets just insanely huge, because as I personally said already a few times, I think Spring might even be a bigger use case for XRP than XRapid. A lot of people seem to disagree with me on that, but if you think about it here, a lot of these opportunities are coming from Spring, the banking system with the XRP Labs, and there's way like coils coming out as well. A lot of these things are backed by Spring, but also a lot of these community things or really things that give a coin use for people, so not necessarily for banks but really for people from person to person, are things that are funded by Spring, are those SMEs, so small to medium enterprises, and that's definitely where Spring is going for, and that's also where we see them most active and also where they're making the most progress. So what I personally think is that XRP is going to be good in years to come from now. I mean, it's really a gaining process, but it's slow as can be, of course, because they need adoption, which is a time-taken process. And with Spring, we're really seeing kind of instant results. We're seeing a lot of these investments already pop off, take out, and also, once this is said, it brings use case like that. With XRapid, we're waiting for the partners to get in, but they can't announce partners before they get them, really. With Spring, they can kind of already say what they're trying to back, what they're trying to go for, what they have backed, which is coming out, things like that. So we know. In this case here, again, we know something is up, so everybody gets happy. Another use case for XRP, more institutional adoption that could be coming on XRP because we've got stable coins, things like that, and that all in turn is just giving it a lot more value on a shorter time frame here, which is why, again, I think that it has so much potential to become one of the biggest use case makers for XRP, and I actually already think it is, guys. But yeah, make sure you check out the Discord. A link for that is in the description below, but also make sure you check out all the links that I keep opening to you guys. First off, make sure you check out Ledger. It's here. Because don't keep your funds on exchanges if you don't have to. Make sure you just invest in a hardware wallet. It is worth it, guys. Check it out. A link for that is in the description below. It's worth it, all right? Don't get your funds hacked. Even if you have like $600, $100 investment, not even. I think for $60 you have one in America. I think it is $64 in America, this thing. I think it is. Or $59. I think it just converges to dollars as well. So like $59 or 59 euros, wherever you are. But if you have like $600 worth of crypto, you buy a $60 worth of thing, you at least have $50 or $540 left. And that might turn into $100,000 in a few years. If you did not invest in this, your $600 might be hacked and you have zero in a few years, which, is quite a big difference. So I still think that this investment is always worth it. It's a little bit of weird logic possibly, but I think most people will get it. It's worth the investment. Make sure you check my Instagram out, TheDustyBC. Make sure you check this website out, freebitcoin.in as well, because you can get some free Bitcoin here. And as I said, it's free, so make sure you check it out. And last but not least, make sure you follow me on Twitter, TheDustyBC, and I'll see you guys again in another crypto video. Enjoy your day, everybody.